Malacanang Press Corps. Let's now have Chief Presidential Legal Counsel and Presidential Spokesperson Salvador Panelo.
Good morning. First, I would like to announce the arrest. All ears kagad sila. No. Remember the Facebook account swindling that this particular individual or other individuals were using my name? And I think more than 500,000 have been deposited. More than na kasi maraming biktima eh. I just received a text message from the NBI agents, AGT Jefferson Moral and Al- Paul Fred P. Tumbali. They have arrested Jose A. Villaferte, also known as Eduardo Sillanera, also known as Jose A. Villaferte, in Cebu. Actually, 2 days earlier, they came to me and reported, kasi di ba nag-file ako ng kaso. And I was asking them, how are you going to arrest him? Yung pala, nagkikipag-chat sila. Because this guy was pretending to be me, di ba? The NBI agent was also pretending to be me, talking to him. So, di nahuli. Kasi nag-entrapment eh. Nag-deposit o di huli siya na. So, he was arrested. And I'd like to commend the NBI agents, especially, of course, the director, Attorney Dante Giran, for a job well done. And this should forewarn other swindlers. The long arm of the law will catch up with you. And also advise friends of mine and friends of other FB account holders to be very careful in dealing with people pretending to be you. Marami na palang naswindle itong tao to. Anyway, huli na siya. He will be, I understand he will be inquested at the DOJ. And also we wish to inform the public that the Chinese ambassador, by the way, Zhao, had a courtesy call yesterday. It was a long courtesy call. I think it took us 1 hour and a half. And he extended his greeting and commendation to the police officer that was the subject of taho throwing. He said he saw the video, and Ambassador Sao said he was impressed by the professionalism and restraint exhibited by the police officer. And he said that China's government does not tolerate this kind of behavior. In fact, he said that in the Philippines, we should prosecute nationals of other countries, including Chinese, who violate our laws, in the same way that in the China area, or Chinese government will also prosecute foreign nationals that violate their laws. And then second, he extended invitation to the president, giving the greeting from the president of China to attend the, what do you call that? Belt and Road Forum in late April of this year. And then he suggested to the president if he could already implement the memorandum of agreement that we had with respect to our shared interests. You remember that we included the communication, infrastructure, and other interests mutually interesting to both countries and beneficial. That was the courtesy call. Another courtesy call was made by the U.S. Philippine Society headed by Ambassador Kim, U.S. Ambassador Kim, as well as the President, Filipino counterpart, Manny Pangilinan. And the President was, well, what's his name now? Marami kasi Amerikano, Hank, Henry. Anyway, the conversation centered on on the president's narrative, telling them how the drug war affected him and this country, and that he had to declare war on drugs, and he had to do it because he wants to protect and preserve this nation. According to him, there are 3 million Filipinos that have been enslaved by this drug industry, and it has created dysfunctional families. And many crimes have been attributed to the taking of illegal drugs. And the president also told them that he will not stop until the end of his term to end this illegal traffic of prohibited drugs. In response, the U.S. ambassador said that the U.S. government supports the fight against drugs. And the members of the U.S.-Philippine Society extended their gratitude to the president for giving them time. In fact, I think it took us also 1 hour and a half. We ended at 10:30 in the evening. And they related to him that they went to Balangiga last week, and they are so appreciative of the very warm reception given them by the Filipinos there. And Ambassador Kim said in a way, he was personally affected by the Balangiga issue because he was present when the president mentioned it, request and or demanded the return of the Balangiga bills during the SONA last year. And he thanked him for that opportunity, and the U.S.-Philippine Society contributed much to the return of the Balangiga bells. And the president said the relationship between the U.S. and the Philippines remains strong. I'm ready for your questions.
MPC questions? Pia Gutierrez?
Sir, could you confirm if the president has signed into law the expanded maternity leave bill?
There is no official word from the president yet. I have not received.
Thank you, sir.
RJ?
Hi, sirs. Did the president say yes to the invitation of the Chinese ambassador?
He looks forward to attending the event.
On his, yes, that's possible.
I think so, yes.
All right. So, sir, on the U.S. Philippine Society meeting with the president, why did the conversation with them focus on the drug war?
I don't know. That's how he started telling the group about perhaps that is the hottest issue.
But who brought it up?
It's the president who started talking. In fact, he was talking for more than half an hour.
And it's all about drug war and the Balangiga, nothing else.
Balangiga, yeah.
All right, thank you.
And he also said about that this country will not go forward unless we can stop the drug war and the corruption, and not even succeeding presidents will succeed in improving the situation in this country unless we stop these twin evils.
Sir, another topic. Sir, DBP President Cecilia Borromeo will soon replace Land Bank President Alex Buenaventura. And Mr. Buenaventura said he will step down from his position at the pleasure of the president. I wonder, sir, did the president ask him to step down? Is the president not satisfied with the land
We
bank under him?
It was never discussed in the cabinet. I have not heard him mention anything about the land bank,
But
other than the conversation between the representative of land bank or the instruction of the president to bring, as well as the idea of land bank bringing the bank to the farmers
There
so that
was,
they can get loans from it.
there was no expression of dissatisfaction.
No,
All right.
there was not.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Ina Andulong.
Hi, sir. Still on the drug war. Yesterday, President Duterte said that drug war will be harsher in the days to come. And in the ambush interview, he said it could be bloodier. Can you tell us what exactly he means by that?
Perhaps he was speaking based on the experiences. As I told you earlier, yesterday, I read briefer on the drug war, and there have been almost daily, you call that, buy-bust operations, and I've read in all areas of the Philippines, arrested individuals involved in the drug trafficking, and also there were more arrests rather than the violence inflicted on them. But there have been, on a regular basis, in different cities and towns of the Philippines. Walang tigil. Ibig sabihin, talagang hindi tumitigil din yung mga nasa kabila. Kasi nga, as explained by the President, and common sense will tell us, it's a cheap, very cheap, mura eh. Kaya madaling ibenta at malaking pera ang involved. So the President has instructed the police forces to be more active in the fight against illegal drugs.
So what can people expect in the coming days? Because he was specific about it. Are we supposed to expect more arrests? Ano ba to pagbabalik nung very aggressive Oplan Tokhang as we saw early on in his term? What can we expect in the streets?
In other words, the President is relentless in his campaign and he's focused on it, and has in fact instructed the police forces to do everything in their power and in accordance with law to dismantle the entire drug apparatus in the Philippines.
What do you mean, sir, dun sa directive niya to the police force to be more active? What does that mean, more active?
Siguro they should engage more on intelligence work para mas marami silang mahuhuli. Because you cannot naman arrest these people unless you have basis, di ba? More intelligence work.
Last, sir, the President has repeatedly been talking about the 3 million drug users still in the country. Ano ang gagawin dito sa 3 million na to in the harsher drug war? Will they be arrested as well, or is the focus going to be on dealers? What is it going to be?
The approach of the President is twin. The arrest of drug traffickers as well as the rehabilitation of the drug addicts.
Tina?
Sir, for the past 3 years, sir, the President has been strong in the campaign against illegal drugs. And at critics even call him over ng mga extrajudicial killings. But apparently, there is a shift from Philippines being of shabu from cocaine based on the recent police operations or PDEA operations na na-seize. Where is the government? What's wrong, sir? Bakit parang even the mga drug syndicates hindi takot ka Pangulo? May kakulangan pa ba?
Hindi sa takot. I think from where I stand, I can see that the attraction is in the profit. That is why these people risk being arrested or being killed in the process of an arrest. Now, I recall something. I'd like to share it to you and to the public. With respect to those who are saying that there have been extrajudicial killings, that these arrested people are just being killed, it's not true. You know, the statistics of the Philippine National Police Force showed that presently there have been 165 police officers killed in relation to arrests. And there are, if I'm not mistaken, 765 injured policemen. So it only shows that in the course of the arrest, those subject of arrest use violence and will not allow themselves to be just arrested. They will have to fight back. Hence, the lives of the policemen making the arrest are also at risk. Otherwise, how can you explain there are 165 police officers killed and 675 police officers injured?
So what's your reading on the Philippines being used as transshipment point for cocaine?
Ang reading ko niyan kasi yung teritoryo natin, islands eh. Dahil sabi, ang daling pumasok, hindi mo mabantayan lahat, ang dami, how many islands do we have? Kaya mga, nakakapasok yung mga drugs.
So can you expound further on the President's statement about Mr. Peter Lim? Mayroon bang bagong developments about Mr. Lim kaya nagsalita
Wala,
ako?
ang sinabi niya lang kahapon buti pa mag-commit suicide siya because you will put him to jail for 200 years.
Okay, Chona, then Joseph. Sir, still on Peter Lim, based sa intelligence report, does the palace know the whereabouts of Peter Lim po?
No, as of now, no.
Walang feelers, sir, since last night after the warning of the
Wala
president?
Wala pa ako narinig.
So, what's the reason why the president parang change of heart? Kasi dati, in 2016, maayos naman yung meeting nila. And then, last night, parang stern yung warning niya kay Peter Lim.
There could be a basis for that. Siguro, some time ago, kung sinasabi mong sopa siya, wala masyadong ebidensya against him. Eh baka marami ng ebidensya to convince the president that he is really behind many operations concerning drug activities. You must remember that Peter Lim at one point denied that. O siguro, lalong pinaimbestigahan ni Presidente, baka marami na siyang basis.
Thank you, sir. Okay, Joseph.
Sir, magti 3 years na yung drug war, no? July
Yes.
2016 siya na-launch. And based on the, government data, okay, muna tayo, sir. 3 million ang sinasabi ng presidente na drug addicts, no? Either operator or user. But based on the government data, there have only been 167,000 plus na drug personalities arrested. Those who were killed, 5,000 plus. And then counting also the surrenderies, you have 316,000. That would just give you 488,000 plus individuals that have been either accosted or killed. Versus vis-a-vis the 3 million figure of infection, if you can call it that, would you say, sir, that the drug war had been effective?
I think so, yes, because given the fact that this has not been stopped by previous administration, and it is only now that there is a relentless war against drugs. Sa tingin ko, given the statistics, sinisira natin ang drug industry dito sa bansa natin.
How then would you explain, sir, that despite the very active drug war, we would have, as the president claimed yesterday, international drug cartels still going into the country?
Because of the profit involved. Plus, yung geographical location natin, madaling pumasok. At the same time, yung shabu, talagang mura eh. Talagang para sa mahihirap yun. And diba, I told you before, what they did earlier was to flood the barangays with free shabu. Nung na-addict na, doon siyempre, hinahanap na. Yan ang ginawa nila noon, libre.
Why aren't we able to stop these drug cartels?
Marami na tayo. Well, we have already dismantled so many. Di ba sa Munting Lupa, nasira na natin yun. And then, news reports coming from you people kung paano na-raid yung isang mga factory ng ganito, factory ng ganyan, ilang milyon ang nakuha ng ganito, mga shabu. So marami. Maraming... siguro kung walang drug war, baka yung 3 million mo, baka by this time, it has ballooned to as many millions as can... As
Sir,
we
ba't
imagine.
hindi nga na-prevent yung pagpasok ng Sinaloa?
Sinaloa?
Yun po sa, well, yesterday si Presidente said Sinalosa, but I think he was referring to Sinaloa, no? It's the El Chapo drug cartel. And he said, he acknowledged that yung mga lumulutang ng mga cocaine probably are from that drug cartel. May drug war tayo, sir, pero bakit pa mapasok yung Sinaloa? Paano nakakapasok?
Gaya na nga ng sinabi ko, yung profit plus yung geographical
Feature.
makeup ng ating bansa. Pero tandaan nyo, kung walang drug war, can you imagine, biro mo kung ilang milyon ang maapektuhan sa atin? Grabe siguro. Kasi he was even shocked na ganito karami. Di ba dati-dati, ang sinasabi nila, 1 million plus lang. Yung pala, that was only concentrated in Manila. Lumalabas ngayon all over. Kasi nga, gaya na sinasabi ko, I read the briefer every day. And I'm amazed that every city, towns, may mga by bus operation at maraming naaresto at marami rin ang namamatay. Although mas marami ang arrest. Kasi ini-circle ko palagi at tinitingnan ko lang ang killed sa arrest. Mas marami ang arrest. So ang ibig sabihin noon, all over talaga the Philippines. Masyadong napabayaan. Kaya mabuti nga ganito na lang lumiliit yung number.
Okay, when the president said that he's raising it, although he said that before, no, he's raising the problem to a national security threat. Is this just a matter of describing the gravity of the problem, or did he mean something legal in such a way that he can invoke certain powers under the Constitution?
That can be both. It's in the level of national security because if you have 3 million and then if that increase pa in more than that, then you really have a problem that involves national security.
So pwede, sir, both as a description and as a legal.
Yes.
Paano ba?
Yes, you must remember that under the Constitution, the president has the mandate to, one, to serve the people, and number two, to protect. So if the public safety requires him to do something extraordinary using his powers under the Constitution, he will do that.
And the powers here are, sir, the ones enumerated in Article 7, the calling out, martial law, and suspension of the habeas corpus?
Yes,
He can resort to those powers, yes?
of course. If there is rebellion and there is eminence and the public safety requires, then the president can do that. But according to him, he will not. He will not because he has still many measures that he can do to quell the present threat on the drug industry.
Yung calling out the armed forces, sir, he's done that already.
Yes, with respect to the rebellion, yes. Wala pa, hindi ba? Puro punitive police action lang.
Will he use smart?
I don't think so. Because he doesn't have to. We are containing it, given the figures, official figures.
Thank you, sir.
Rose Novenario.
Hi, sir. Good morning. Sir, noong 2016, sinabi ni Presidente na narco-state na yung Pilipinas dahil yung sa protection na tinatamasa ng drug syndicates mula sa government officials, politicians. Sir, sa kaso ni Kenneth Dong, inaresto siya sa isang housing project ng Department of Justice. So ano po yung...
Sino ito?
Si Kenneth Dong, sir. Mga 2 weeks ago, di ba, inaresto siya. Naaresto siya sa isang bahay sa loob ng housing project ng Department of Justice sa Katarungan Village. So ano po yung paliwanag dito ng NBI or DOJ na natuklasan na ba nila kung sino yung nagkadal kay Kenneth Dong? Bakit ando doon siya sa housing project ng Department
We will
of
ask the
Justice?
NBI for an official report on that, and then I'll get back to you.
Thank you.
MPC questions. Rosalie? Tanong ka na.
Sir, regarding sa expanded maternity leave, I think ES has already confirmed the President has signed it. So,
Okay.
regarding that.
Hindi okay. Wala pang text sa akin eh.
Sir, sa tingin niyo po ba wala tong magiging implications sa employment ng females sa private and public sector? Kasi kung mas madadagdagan yung leave ng mga working mothers, baka po mag-isip-isip na yung mga employer na i-limit yung pag-hire ng mga kababaihan dahil mas gagastos po sila.
Hindi naman. Alam nyo, yung dagdag ng maternity leave, number of days as well as the benefits, that will only lessen the profits. Eh, laki naman ang profit talaga ng mga employers eh. Kumbaga, social service nila yun. Ang nakikita kong ano doon, marami na siguro mag-aasawa. O eh kasi, the reason why maraming ayaw mag-asawa kasi magbubuntis pagkatapos maglilib ka, mag-gastos and all. Ay, ngayon, medyo 160 days.
105 extension ng 30.
Oh, biro mo yun. Di ilang buwan yun. Wow, 3 months.
So sir, confident po kayo na hindi mangyayari sa Pilipinas yung nangyayari sa ibang bansa na pinipigilan yung pag-hire ng mga kababaihan dahil sa ganong benefits?
Aba, eh, bawal ang discrimination sa atin. They will be accountable to that. I don't think they will.
Okay po. Thank you, sir.
Okay, MPC, Tina?
Saka mga Filipino family-oriented eh. These industrialist businessmen will understand.
Sir, clarification lang, sir. Katulad tong bagong batas sa expanded maternity health. Sa ano ba dapat ang sinusunod ng mga kumpanya, yung batas o kailangan i-incorporate ng private companies sa rules and regulations nila muna yung batas bago i-implement sa mga empleyado?
First, merong mga companies na magaganda benefits. Like when I was in Unilab, gaganda ng benefits, wala pa yung batas eh. So, regardless of the rules and regulations ng mga companies, they will have to follow the law now. Kung may law na, wala na silang choice. They will have to follow the law. So you don't even have to incorporate that kasi nasa batas na nga.
Thank you, sir.
Joseph, may follow-up ka ba? Joseph or Christine?
Clarification. Okay, when you said that pwede na lang i-incorporate yung act, they can also not incorporate it?
Of course.
The law?
Just follow the law. Why do you have to put in the rules?
Okay. So parang given na yun.
Oh, given na eh.
No
wala
naman
silang
amendments
choice.
to the labor code or whatever, mga ganun.
Hindi naman kailangan kasi batas na nga eh.
Okay,
Kasi
so
the moment, hindi, automatic yun na in-amend mo yung previous provision pag mayroong special
correct,
law.
correct. So they have to follow. No? Sir,
Kaya si Maricel sa kasi nag-iisip na yata ng
So, sir,
dagdag na.
Sir, regardless, sir,
Saka
kung
si-
merong
Yeah,
workers
yeah.
union or wala ang isang kampanya.
Ano?
Regardless, sir, kung merong workers union o mga CBA,
No, wala
dapat
sila. Yes.
prevailing ang law of the law.
Oh, wala na silang choice doon. Batas eh. It applies to all.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Christine Avendano.
Kaya Ina, pwede ka na.
Sir.
Pwede ka na mag-asawa.
Sir. Ayan. Sir, what could be the basis of the president to say na he would raise the drug problem to a national security threat?
Well, as he has repeatedly explained, it affects the generation. It affects the entire country. If so many members of the family are addicted to drugs, diyan mag-uumpisa lahat ng problema. Like, palagi nang pinapaliwanag natin na, one, pag na-addict ka na, you need money to buy. Pag wala ng pera yung tatay at nanay mo, magnanakaw ka na sa sarili mong bahay, bebenta ka na ng mga gamit. Pag wala ka na maibenta, pupunta ka na sa kapitbahay. Pag wala na yung kapitbahay, mag-hold up ka na. So, you have potential criminals in the families. Magkakaproblema ka talaga. Kaya, I saw the emotions of the president last night. Sabi niya, it affects me so much. You know why? Can you imagine yung mga Pilipino nagpupunta sa overseas para lang kumita, tapos they will learn na itong mga anak nila rito naging drug addict na, nasira na yung buhay nila. Kaya grabe ang ni Presidente. Kaya hindi siya titigil hanggat matapos yung ganyan term.
Normally ba, sir, pag kunyari yung if a situation becomes a national security problem, ano yung normally conditions, the present conditions to say na may problem national security-wise?
Aba, kung, like for instance, yung 3 million kung naging 10 million yun, to my mind, if I were the president, that's a national security problem. Kung gano'n nakarami ang involved sa drugs, talaga may problema ka ng malaki. But we're reducing that na nga because of so many arrests. Tapos may rehabilitation pa tayo.
During the cabinet meeting ba, did he mention he planned to raise yung drug problem into a national security threat?
Hindi naman. Sa mga speeches niya, hindi ba sinasabi niya yun?
So there are conditions ngayon to say na talagang it is a national security problem, sir.
Tsaka wala naman siya sinabing national security
No, I mean-
problem. Sinasabi niya lang na matindi ang problema natin sa... Sinabi niya ba kapon?
So what are the conditions?
Now, because nga of the rampant entry and unstoppable addiction of so many people. And despite the arrest, nandiyan pa rin siya. That's why he has raised that to a national security level.
Okay, Ina.
Sir, just a clarification, because way back in 2003, si President Arroyo already elevated it to a national security threat. And if I'm not mistaken, what the President means is that he's invoking that same move, that order. So, kumbaga, he's not actually elevating it anew now, or unless you clarify that now. Ano po ba? Ano yung
Ang
status?
sabi niya, the president then already elevated that to national security. Pero walang nangyari kasi hindi naman siguro nakapokus yung dating administrasyon for whatever reason. And nung pumasok siya, nung makita niya yon, kaya he responded to the challenge hurled to him as president to stop the drug war.
But that order made during the Arroyo administration still stands up to this day. Ganon ba yun, sir? Diba? Hindi naman siya parang na-lift or what eh?
nung ni-raise ni Presidente Arroyo yun, I don't think na ganito karami yung
It's a
number of-
continuing scenario then,
yes.
which the president is now, kumbaga, acting on more
Yes.
aggressively. That's what
Yes.
you're saying. Okay.
Correct.
Thank you, sir.
Maricel?
Sir, quick clarification. You mentioned earlier na because of the rampant entry, does it mean that the drug industry or the condition of the drug industry now in the country is getting worse?
No, what I'm saying is that you must remember that yung shabu dito ginagawa sa Pilipinas. Hindi naman yung dati nang gawa, saka pinapasok eh. Iba yun eh. So, ang nakakapasok, yung mga chemicals. Chemicals, dito ginagawa eh. Yung mga materials, raw materials ang nakakapasok. And yun nga ang ini-stop natin. Like, di ba, nag-umpisa yun sa customs. Doon nakakapasok eh. Kaya meron na tayong mga, may mga military na nga doon nagbabantay. Yun ang ibig niya sabihin.
So, if it's not getting worse, how will you describe the situation of the drug industry in the country?
Well,
Why
it's-
is there a need to raise it for a national security threat?
Eh kasi nga, hindi natatapos yung pangamba at panganib na offer nitong problemang ito. Kaya hindi siya tumitigil. Parang nagiging creative din itong lahat ng mga kalaban eh.
If that's the case, sir, what does it say about the drug campaign of the administration? Doesn't it question the effectivity of the campaign?
Ay, hindi, kaya na nga sinabi ko sa'yo, kung hindi effective yan, baka hindi lang 3 million tayo. Diba? Can you imagine yung mga napatay, yung mga inaresto, kung nandiyan pa rin sa kalsada, o di lalo na. How can you say na hindi effective? The fact alone is the people are saying, wala na yung mga drug addicts sa amin. Di ba? How many percent? 64% said 7 out of 10 are saying that okay na dun sa mga lugar nila, hindi na nila nakita yung mga drug addicts, yung mga drug pushers. So, malaking ginhawa sa kanila. So, effective.
Sir, can I shift to another topic? May we just have your thought on the statement of Miss Universe, Catriona Gray,
What?
showbiz, saying na the country should focus on addressing the reasons why children commit crimes instead of lowering the minimum age of criminal responsibility. Yeah, she's against the position of the Malacanang.
Then she should be educated on the hindi. Ang ibig sabihin ng educated, she may have been misinformed of the facts, given that the opposition to the lowering comes from yung mga dating kritiko ng administrasyon. But if you study the facts, and yung mga present ngayon, di ba? I think I just read 3 high school students ang involved sa crime. Nahuli sa raid, yung isa, nagta-trafficking ng drugs. Mga ano yun, ha? High school students. So, yung sinasabi niya yung sabi niya, focus on what? Focus on the problems.
Yeah.
Kasama yun eh. When you lower the criminal liability, kasama yun, you're focusing us on nagiging problema. Kasi that is the problem with minors involved in crimes. So, sa batas, nakalagay dun yung rehabilitation. Ang focus nga, rehabilitation eh. So, you are solving precisely the problem why these people are engaged in crimes. So, kaya sinasabi ko, siguro we must give some enlightenment or education. Kasi maraming hindi rin nakakaintindi. Like yung, from the very start, ang opposition nila, bakit mo ikukulong? Hindi nga ikukulong. Yun nga ang pinagtataka ko noon kung bakit naniwala sila na ikukulong. Hindi nga ikukulong I-rehabilitate mo nga So baka hindi rin na intindihan ni Miss Universe na Miss Universe hindi na maikukulong, i-rehabilitate nga natin. Kaya tama ka doon. Let's focus on the problem. We are precisely focusing on the problem. Because the problem is they're engaged in crimes. So what will we do? We will have to rehabilitate them. Learn why they have committed these crimes. And then put them back to society. But I'm glad that she mentions it only means that she's also concerned, which every Filipino citizen should have the kind of concern.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Questions, MBC? Virgil?
Nakakatuwa kayo, no? Talaga kayo naghahanap palagi ka ng educated. Ano ka agad Talaga, yung sound bite ang hinahanap talaga.
Sir, good afternoon. Yesterday, Pope Francis told worshippers in Vatican that those who repeatedly accuse the church, meaning the critics, are friends, cousins, and relatives of the devils. So, though the president, of course, the Pope did not mention any critic for that matter.
The critics of the what? Of
The church, yeah. The Pope called them as friends, cousins, and relatives of devils. Well, of course, the president was not mentioned or any critic for that matter, but we know that the president has been criticizing the teachings and the misdeeds of some members of the clergy. So may we know your reaction to his statement, sir?
I haven't read the reaction of the Pope, but one of the better critics of the church is the Pope himself. He criticizes the members of the church who are engaged in what he perceives to be immorality, which is outside of the teachings of Christ or the internal discipline of the church. Diba? When he addressed those members of the church who could not be celibate to leave the church, he is a critic.
Question? Virgil, okay na? May follow-up ka, Ace?
But it doesn't mean also that when you criticize, you are evil. You're just expressing concern and opposition to certain irregular behavior. Bakit ano ba simba?
Joseph,
simbahan?
follow-up, Ina?
Sir, so the president, as far as Malacanang is concerned, you don't think that the president was being alluded to?
No. Baka nga hindi niya kilala si Presidente.
Okay. MPC questions. Mag-last question na tayo? RJ muna and then Joseph.
Sir, mag-o-order daw po ba si Presidente ng manhunt kay Peter Lim?
Hindi ko narinig yung sinabi niya kahapon. But standing order naman is to pursue to the ends of the world those who have violated the laws in this country. Yun naman palagi standing order niya yun.
Okay, Joseph. Last question na tayo, MPC.
Sir, yung pong kahapon na regarding the budget undersecretary, that was a very colorful story by the president. No? Sinipa niya sa mukha, tapos that's the first time the guards...
Tumatak daw yung yung Valentino.
Sosyal.
Yun ang sabi ni Bongo
Talaga? Paano? Sige nga.
Hindi. Yung di ba sapatos ni Presidente, meron siyang marikina shoes. Siguro nagpapadala si Bong. Nandun yun nakita yung durability ng marikina shoes. Kasi nung sinipa daw, hindi masyadong yung mukha, pero yung tatak daw, naiwan daw yung tatak ng Valentino.
Sa mukha?
Yung brand,
Sir, kaninong mukha to? Anong pangalan, sir?
Ay, hindi ko alam yung Yusek. Sino bang Yusek na natanggal?
Budget daw. Budget use.
Di ba, I don't remember the name.
Super tagal na ba yun, sir?
Di ba, Yusek ni ano yan eh,
Ba't
ni
kinikwento niyo
Secretary, yun yun.
Yung dati pa, na,
Oo.
this is not a new
No,
firing.
he was referring to the previous Yusek.
Is was Sir, ano lang, yun sa friend, devil, relative. What do you think of it? Do you agree that any critic of the church is a friend, brother, relative?
If I will agree with that, then the Pope would be referring to himself also because he is also a critic. Palagi ko ano lang yun, hyperbole.
Wow, speaking like the president, huh?
Yeah, hyperbole.
Hyperbole.
Kumbaga ano lang niya yun, hindi, when you criticize, you cannot be evil.
So hindi naman na-offend yung palace doon.
No.
Okay.
Si Presidente, di ba, ina-assault na lahat ng reputasyon niya. Pinapabayaan niya lang. Okay lang yun.
Sige, sir.
Okay, thank you, MPC. Wala na questions? Okay, thank you, Presidential
Thank you.
Spokesperson and Chief Presidential Legal Counsel, Salvador
you.
Panelo. Back to our main studio sa Radyo Pilipinas and People's Television Network.